Welcome to the Conversational Intelligence series by Symbol.ai, a conversational intelligence platform for developers. In the next few minutes, you'll learn how to generate a transcript from a live audio stream from your browser using the Symbol APIs. I'm Jannavi, a solutions engineer at Symbol, and I'll be demonstrating how. Before we begin, let's have a quick look at what is transcription. Transcription, popularly known as speech-to-text, refers to the process of converting spoken words from audio or video into written word, that is text. The generated transcript is very useful for things like SEO in digital marketing, adding searchability to your audio or video databases, making your video applications more accessible by adding closed captions or subtitles, enhancing end-user experience with intelligent conversation data for higher engagement, and many other things. Symbol APIs can help generate a transcript very easily and has highly accurate results. Let us see how you can do that. Before we begin, you need to have the following things ready. First, if you haven't already, then you need to sign up for a Symbol account by going to platform.symbol.ai. This takes no time because you don't need to enter credit card information or anything, just your name and email. And after sign up, you'll get free credits every month. You will need your app ID and app secret from your Symbol account. And secondly, for authentication, I will be using curl to generate an access token today. It's just one HTTP request. If you have the Symbol Postman collection, you can use that as well. Anything is fine. We just need to make the one request to generate the access token. So feel free to pause the video here, take a few minutes to ensure that you have everything ready to go. And if you're ready, then let's start. So today we'll be running a bare bones JavaScript code directly on the browser console. This may sound scary to some, but the beauty of Symbol is that it's so easy to use that even this is not that difficult. Talk is cheap. Let me just show you the code directly. I'm going to use a sample code. You can find it on our GitHub organization. So go to github.com and go to Symbol AI organization. And the repo name is real-time speech recognition with WebSockets and all of these hyphens. So here in the index.js file, I'm going to pick up this entire code and drop it on my console. Let's quickly go over this. The first thing, like I said, is always authentication. So let's go back to our authentication access code, and I will copy paste that in this variable here inside the double quotes. Next, we have a unique meeting ID. So we are going to be using B2A, binary to ASCII, to create this unique ID. And like I said before, the access token and meeting ID pair is used to uniquely identify different live conversations. So it's necessary to create a unique ID that doesn't collide with another one. So I'm going to put my name in here for now so that I get a unique ID. I'm going to put something. All right. Next is the Symbol endpoint that you want to hit for streaming. So it starts with WSS for secure WebSocket connection. And at the end of the endpoint, you need to pass the unique meeting ID and access token. So you can find this endpoint on our documentation as well. Make sure that it's the updated one. So right now, this one is not updated. It should be streaming here. So it's api.symbol.ai /v1/streaming and then your meeting ID and access token. Next, we create a WebSocket object called WS and pass the Symbol endpoint to it. And now a little below here, once we have created the WebSocket, when the WebSocket opens, we have this handler ws.onOpen. And what we do there is, once we have successfully opened the WebSocket connection and all the handshakes and greetings have been exchanged, we get down to business and we send a JSON start request to Symbol to indicate that the call is starting. And we also pass in here the call configuration. So the first thing that you pass in this request is the type, which is start request. Other fields are all optional, but they include information for configuring this connection. So we have the meeting name here. We have insight types. So if you want questions, action items, or follow-ups, then you need to subscribe to them. Oops, what happened? You need to subscribe to those insights, so you'll pass the insight types parameter there. Then we have the config object. So this contains information and the actual settings. So we have confidence threshold, the language code, the actual speech recognition settings for the audio device that you're going to be using. And lastly, we also have the speaker, the speaker information. So you can pass the user ID, that is the email of that user. So I'm going to drop in my email here. It can be anything, and this email will be used to send a summary of the conversation at the end. I'm going to type in my name, Janhavi. So in this way, I have configured this start request. So once the WebSocket connection is successfully opened, so this is the first thing that we will send. So we'll send a start request to Symbol, and then we'll start getting messages on the WebSocket. So to handle that, we have this ws.onMessage handler. So you get many different types of messages, and this code contains all of the live insights as well. But we're only interested in live captions and transcript today. So let's delete, this topic and insight responses. So this leaves us with three things. The first is conversation ID, and then we have live transcript and the finalized transcript. A conversation ID is like a locker number. It is a unique identifier that points to the locker and Symbol that has the transcript and all of the insights generated for this particular live stream, this particular conversation. And using this ID, you can access all of the insights post-call, or even create shareable summary links, or do whatever you want with it, delete it if you want. So it's very important to save the conversation ID. Next, the two types of transcripts, let me explain those when we run this code and get the results. And apart from this, we also have handlers for errors and on WebSocket closing. Lastly, we also have this block of code that handles the mic on your browser. So this works on any Chromium based browser, this particular code. We're basically getting a mic stream, and whenever the mic captures audio, we create an audio chunk in this part, and the maximum size of the audio chunk can be 8192 bytes. So we're just doing some basic mathematical work here, and we create a buffer, and then we continuously send that buffer over to Symbol over the WebSocket. And then finally we call the function, and that's it. That's all of the code. It's very simple. I'm just gonna hit enter. Okay, so as you can see, we started getting responses from the Symbol side. So the first thing that you get in the response is the conversation ID. You need to save this, and then after that you can see that the response that we are getting comes under the live transcript part. So live transcript was made for the purpose of live captioning. It gives very high speed responses, and you can utilize them as the captions or subtitle stream in your video or audio elements. And these are interim results, so to say, and there may be some slight inaccuracies in it, like missing punctuation, etc. So this is where the final transcript enters. So the final transcript perfects these inaccuracies and gives you a very highly accurate transcript. And this is the same transcript that is made available post-call as well. So if I take a pause here, we'll be able to see the final transcript as well, the more accurate one. Yeah, so there we go. So we got a transcript more accurate. So it added punctuation like commas and etc., full stop and all of those things. And so these are all the three types of responses that we had programmed to get. Now once all of this is done, the last step is stopping the connection. Once the call is done, it is extremely important to send a stop request to Symbol so that it knows that a conversation is ended. And to stop this connection, I'm going to send another message to Symbol like we had done before with the start request. So I'm going to say ws.send, and inside that I'm going to pass in a JSON dot. And inside that we're going to send only the type, and the type value is stop_request. So this is the only field that the stop request needs, and I'm going to press enter. And so what this will do is that everything that I said before is still going to get transcribed, and I will get those outputs on my WebSocket, and after that the connection is safely closed. So on the client side you get a better experience. If you just do ws.close, that's also possible, but in that case you will not get the transcripts that were generated after you hit that. It will just immediately close the connection. So it's very important that you send a stop request and properly end the call. And we're done. This was the entire demo. It's that simple to use the streaming API that we have. So to recap, in this video we saw what is transcription, reasons why you want transcripts, and how to transcribe a live audio stream easily with Symbol. Here are some additional resources for you to go through in order to level up your transcription game even further and get a deeper understanding of how all of this really works. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to the Symbol AI developer community on Slack or simply tweet us with the hashtag symbol.ai. Thank you for watching, and if you would like to learn more about transcription or conversational intelligence, subscribe and tune in to our YouTube channel.